Yes.
Are we ever ready?
All right, welcome to this week's episode of Help Desk with Joe. And as always, I have with me Joe from A&M Digital Technologies.
There you go.
And of course, your wife Sina, behind the scenes, producing the show. So every week we come on here, talk about different topics to help people save money, make their technology more efficient, more user-friendly, and sometimes answer questions about what people may need.
Right.
So this is a segment based around what a person may need if they have children.
Right.
So let's talk about that a little bit. Go ahead and introduce the topic.
Well, this week's topic is content filtering, protecting what your kids can see online. Now, before we get started, I want to put out the disclaimer that all these tips that we give today, there is not 100% foolproof. This will
Right.
get the bulk of everything, but there's not one solution that will guarantee everything. So I just want
Right.
to put that disclaimer out there.
And I think it should be noted as well, that kids sometimes know how to use the computer better than their parents. So
Right.
that makes it hard.
Right.
Parents need to educate themselves.
Right.
As with anything. They
Right.
need to educate themselves, and there's just not a simple PAM, it's done, and no one will ever figure out how to get around it.
Right.
So you're right. It's an easy disclaimer to do, and people need to understand that.
Right.
Okay, so we're talking about content. Explain that a little bit. What are you talking about exactly when you say content?
Anything online. Videos, music, websites, gaming online, anything that involves the internet.
So a website that a child may pull up on the computer,
Right.
may download something,
Right.
whatever the case may be. So internet-based web content.
Any
that
internet activity.
that a child can look at. Okay.
Right.
All right. Well, where do you want to start at?
Well, let's start with the easy one, YouTube.
Okay.
You know, we produce all of our shows and post them on YouTube, so the kids are all out there watching the YouTube videos. Well, you know, when you finish watching this video, it always pops up, well, here's some other videos.
Right.
And it's hard to tell what kind of path it may send you from there because, you know, as content creators, we're out of the control of that.
Right.
What pops up after the video, that's on YouTube's end. So that's
And
YouTube.
it gives you recommendations. What you're talking about is the recommendations at the bottom, and then there's a scroll list on the side as well.
Right.
So that's all recommended content based off of this, but it's kind of like a chain of sorts.
Right.
That it goes and expands.
Right,
And it's
YouTube-
hard to tell what'll show up.
Right, because YouTube takes everything that you watch and tries to optimize it to say, okay, well, if you like this video, check out this video, and so on
Right.
and so forth.
And you can talk a little bit about what you can get into on YouTube.
All right,
What kind of
anything-
content can you find?
Anything and everything. I mean, you can find just the innocent stuff like this show and stuff like that, and
Wow, this is innocent.
well, yeah,
I like that area, yeah. But right.
Well,
a lot of we use it a lot for getting help for stuff. Like if you have a problem, a math problem you can't figure out, there's a teacher somewhere that's put the solution to that type of problem on YouTube.
Right.
Or how to work on your car, motorcycle, whatever. There's a lot of how-to videos.
Right. Now, I don't want to get the parents a false thinking, oh, YouTube's bad, it's got to have all this nasty stuff. Well, when I say bad stuff, I'm more mature audience material.
Right.
Like all the, a lot of people do YouTube videos on how to play video games. So they'll take
Right.
a lot of the mature rating video games to show you how to play it. So it has a lot more adult content,
Right.
language, stuff like that.
Right.
So it's that kind of stuff that you want to keep away.
Sure, and I know there's violence on YouTube.
Right.
Fights, wrecks, car wrecks, stuff like that.
Right.
So there's stuff like that you can pick up that you may not want your 5-year-old to see.
Right.
Or even your 10-year-old. So
Right.
yes, that's the kind of content. So we'll say section 1, the good and the bad.
Right.
With everything. So YouTube is one of those things
Right.
that has fantastic knowledge-based learning stuff, but also some more mature content that is not appropriate for children.
Right. So YouTube has opened this up with open arms, and actually at the bottom of their website, there's a button that has a content filtering
Right.
set up, and it's just simple as turn it on or turn it off.
Right.
And if you actually have an account through YouTube, when you turn that filter on, if your kid comes in behind you tries to turn that off, they say, "Oh, what's a password to the account?"
Nice. So you can log in on YouTube always, and you can click the little square that says always log in.
Right.
And then you can go in and set the content, and that way every time YouTube is pulled up on that computer, it automatically logs you in and then it'll have that content filter.
Right, and then if you check under your account settings, you can always go back and see what YouTube videos was viewed under that
Right.
account.
Okay, so you can not only keep the content at a minimum,
Right.
as far as what you can see, but also go back and look at the history.
Right.
Okay, so excellent tips for YouTube. Talk a little bit about content filtering software. Now, I know they make, well, first explain software. It took me a long time to figure this out. The difference between what software is and hardware and so forth.
Well, the hardware is you get it in a box. When you buy your computer, the tower, the monitor, anything you can touch, that's
printer.
hardware.
Yep.
Right. Software is something a program that you run on the computer.
Right, an application, a program, like, give me some examples. Adobe makes a lot of photo programs. Those are all software.
Microsoft Office, I mean,
Right.
Word, Excel, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Those are all programs. Anything that you buy that you either put in a disk in or download off the internet to run, that's an application.
Okay, so this is a software that you'll go get, content filtering. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, it's a simple program. One program that I've tested and I really like is made by a company called K9.
Okay.
And it's a web filtering program, and you download it, and you can put, block violent websites, and then it goes on from there. And then if you find, oh, this site made it through the cracks, you can actually go back and add that particular site to the list.
And stick it in that list that it automatically watchdogs.
Right.
Okay, now.
And then if for some reason it accidentally blocks a legitimate site, you can go back on what they call whitelist,
Right.
which allows that website to come through.
Nice. Okay, so you can go both ways.
Right.
And use it to protect your computer and who watches it. And you said, and that's a program that you purchase and then download.
Right.
Okay.
And then it also creates logs as well, so you can go back and say, okay, what did Johnny look at this weekend? And you can sit down and look at all the logs of every website that was visited.
So that's only internet.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
anything that's used on the internet. So
Right.
if you're
So it
going to
does
YouTube,
everything. It goes past YouTube to
right.
everything.
If you go to YouTube, to Facebook, to Yahoo, every click you make online, it's
Right, and
monitored.
it follows. Nice. Okay, and that's something you offer through A&M Digital Technologies?
Yeah, we
People
can-
order from you?
Well, they can order from the website, from the K9 website, but we'd be more than happy to sit down with you because it can be a complex program
Right.
that you can do a lot of stuff with. So we'd be more than happy to sit down with you and show you.
It does a big job, so I imagine that there's a lot of settings that need to be looked at.
Well, it's real
to create
simple
that
setup,
filter.
but it can be complex as you make it.
Right. Okay, so that's good. And now we know, that's sitting down at your home when your CPU, your desk
Mm-hmm.
at home using the computer. Phones are basically there. They're computers now.
Right, phones,
What can-
iPads, all that.
Yeah, iPads are huge too.
Yeah.
And now Android's coming out with their tablets. So tablets and phones. What do you do for those?
Same thing.
Really?
There's
Okay.
there's a lot of companies. K9, one of them. Again, they have the mobile versions.
Right.
You just download the app onto your device, and you have K9 filtering right there.
If you get it for your computer, can you also do you have to purchase one for your computer, one for your phone, one for your iPad?
I'm not sure how their licensing works as far as that goes. They might have a box deal. You may well check with them or check with us.
Right.
We can see what their licensing is because they may fluctuate. Because they might run a special. You buy the PC version today, we'll throw in the the mobile for free.
Right, and with that in mind, I'm the average Joe that comes to you, Joe. I have kids. I have 3 kids.
Mm-hmm.
What do I need to do? So if I walk in off the street, what's some of the questions you'll ask me to figure out what I need?
How old are your kids?
Okay, age, of course.
Right. What are you wanting them to be able to view, and what are you not wanting them to be able to view?
Okay, so I have an idea of how does it rank it? Like if I say, well, I don't mind them watching some videos like racing or something like that. How do you rank those? Like what appropriateness?
Well,
Does it fall into categories? Does it just violence? Or tell me a little bit about
with
that.
sites like Facebook and YouTube, they kind of categorize them as social media.
So it has categories and you just pick.
Right. So under the YouTube, you'd probably fall into using the YouTube
Okay.
filter itself. So then, you'd want to watch the racing, but you don't want to watch the bloody, gory racing
Right,
wrecks.
right. Okay, so and then social media play a big part in it because you may not want your 8-year-old to get on Facebook.
Right. You might let them get on YouTube to watch some stuff, but you don't want them on Facebook. So you can go, okay,
You got all the social media.
Well, you can, umbrella it,
Yep.
block everything, or say, okay, we'll let you to YouTube, but you can't get to Facebook.
Gotcha. Okay, and that's great because then that child can go to the Nickelodeon websites, the more
Right.
appropriate age websites without accidentally clicking on something else.
Right.
That's what I found out. My 7-year-old daughters will click and just accidentally click to somewhere else, and the next thing you know, they're on one of the little ads.
Yep.
They go somewhere else, and then it's just toppling dominoes to where they end up. So,
Yeah, it just
so we have
snowballs
to
from
be real
there.
careful and keep an eye on them. Now, my son Kale's a little better at it. He can tell when he goes away from wherever he's supposed to be, so
Right.
he'll come back. But you never know about the girls. Okay, so you've covered the home computer, the iPad, the cell phone. Back to, I walk in, where do we start? Do they need to bring their stuff when they call you and ask you these questions? I'm assuming you need to sit down with them. Let's assume that it's someone that's not familiar with downloading or anything along those lines. Is it something you can get in a disc, or does it have to be downloaded? I'm assuming everything's downloadable.
Yeah, it's pretty much download, but we'd be more than happy to sit down with them, download it, and say, okay, here's what they're offering.
Yep.
What do you want to allow? Then we can actually sit there with them and say, okay, we'll block this, we'll
Walk them
block
through the
this, we'll,
steps.
we'll allow this.
And once you do that, it's done, right? It
Yeah.
starts doing its job, and you don't have to mess with it.
Yeah, once you get it set up and push go, it's ready to go immediately. I mean, the only thing that you'll have to do later is if you find a site that you're wanting to go to that's blocked. I mean, there's some minor tweaking
Right.
after that, which is just a couple of clicks. But other than that, once
Walk
it's
through
set up,
that.
it's ready to go.
And then if they ever want to make changes, just go in and make little changes.
Right.
Okay. All right. So if someone wants to get a hold of you and ask you the questions I just asked you and figure out what they need.
Right.
Of course, hopefully their name's not Joe, as I pretended, but how they get a hold of you.
You can give us a call at our offices at 304-927-3588 or visit our website at amdigitaltechnologies.com.
All right. And then if you're like me, as always, friend you on Facebook.
Yeah, like us on
You
Facebook.
see all the specials, and we've went through your organization, your business, using security cameras now,
Yeah.
where we do daycares and stuff, and ordering more security cameras and getting all our stuff set up. Fantastic. You get them to us in 2 days, whatever we need. Great questions, and I order it through Facebook. Piece of cake. I like it. So go and friend them on Facebook, A&M Digital Technologies. Joe and Cena McDonald, and you can catch those daily specials.
Yeah.
The daily specials are awesome. I love them. I wish I had more money.
I did too.
If I had more money, we'd be buying stuff. But you have a lot of cool deals on there, so I think that's important. And what we talk about every once in a while, we'll talk about supporting local businesses. We just finished up with soccer season. We had 21 teams, I think. So lots of local businesses.
There's a whole field of kids when we drive by.
250 some kids, and you guys sponsored our basketball in the winter. You helped out. You just got done volunteering at 4-H camp a couple weeks ago. So you guys are here in our community, Rome County, Spencer community, local to West Virginia. So if you need any technology stuff, call these folks. Give them your business. Keep the business local. And your prices outmatch anybody's. That's the crazy part. I'm
Plus-
really proud of that.
Plus, if they're a former Roane County resident and still like to support the community, we do ship nationwide.
Right.
So-
It's fantastic. You can go into your store online, and I get there linked through your Facebook page and go through and shop and pick stuff out, and you'll ship it to whoever I want.
Right.
We just shipped some stuff over to Ripley, and I didn't even have to drive it, which is awesome. So again, shop local, support these folks. They're not only helping produce these shows, you produce them, you put them on YouTube, you put them on Ustream, make the podcasts, so they're on iTunes now, and all in the different categories of the shows we do. Penny was just in here from Building Blocks doing Penny's Reading Nook.
Which is getting great reviews. We've heard a lot of people talk about it.
Yep, and that's awesome. We've taken what was the old call into the library and listen to a story to the point now you can watch it on YouTube.
Right.
Or the Facebook page, and your child can watch those stories.
And what's great around here is it's somebody local that they know. They go, oh, I seen you on YouTube.
Yep, and I'm sure you get stopped a lot in a couple businesses around town when you're out shopping and stuff. So people have lots of tech questions. So if someone has a tech question, get a hold of them. If you use it on the show, you give away free stuff.
Yeah, we always like giving away free stuff. Well, I do. Cena doesn't like them. Something about money and all that.
Somebody's got to watch the budget,
Yeah.
especially since you're throwing their phone in the water.
Well, yeah. So.
If you missed last week's show, go back and watch the show where he dunks the phone in the water with the case,
Life-proof case.
life-proof case. So you guys saw a guy at soccer that had one.
Did he?
Loved it. He was
Did you ask him
impressed.
did you bring a pitcher of water to him and have him?
No. He was he did the water, a piece of paper in it, and then dunked it, and then the paper stayed dry. You're good to go.
Yeah.
But he went and watched the show online. I was like, yeah. So neat stuff. But anyway, get a hold of these folks. A&M Digital Technologies through Facebook, whatever you got to do, any questions you may have. And again, today's show is about protecting the content that comes through your computer.
Right.
I would say for your children, but for anybody.
Right, well,
you might have grandchildren that come over, you might have stepkids, or whatever the case may be.
Well, and
content filtering.
With it being summertime, the kids are more likely to be on the computers now, just leisure time than
Right.
in the middle of school trying to look up homework.
Yeah. So, and then that's what we want them to do. So, but we still want them to be safe.
Right.
So I think it's a great topic for today. So as usual, you can go back through and watch all the other shows. We're got to be closing in on show number 30. If we're not
getting
already
close.
by it,
Yeah.
we might already be by it. I don't even know. It's been a lot of shows. But go back and look at that content. So for this week, Help Desk with Joe.
Yep.
And Joe and Cena McDonald here producing our shows and doing a fantastic job in our community. So we're going to sign off with that. Thanks again. This show is sponsored by A&M Digital Technologies. Make sure you shop local for all your technology needs. Joe, thank you.
Thank you.